From historic and rockin' Dillon Stadium, this is the USL Championship 2019. Tonight, your Hartford Athletic hosts Swope Park Rangers. It's a game presented by Barberino Nissan. Good evening and welcome everybody. Alongside Tom Traxler, I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Thanks for joining us here for Hartford Athletic Soccer on MyTV9 and ESPN+. Well, the 2019 season, Tom, is coming down the stretch. Two teams here playing out the string, but also playing for the future.
Absolutely, and playing for a lot more in the future, playing for contracts. Everybody wants to play again next year, so every game's important. You never know what eyes are upon you. So for Hartford Athletic, do you want to be back? Are you going to need a new contract? For Swope Park Rangers, young players that might be looking to make their mark with Sporting Kansas City and move their way up to MLS, Jeff.
Well, the Dutchman Sem de Wit has 125 clearances on the back line, but tonight he moves up into the midfield.
Look, an absolute rock for this Hartford Athletic team. He has played in 30 games this season. Chipped in with a goal, obviously a danger going forward off any set piece. Reads the game very well. Experienced defender. He's been with FC Cincinnati and Vancouver Whitecaps too. Again, just a mainstay, an important part of this Hartford Athletic side.
Swope Park Rangers come in. Wilson Harris has been on a roll. He's got the scoring touch.
Wilson! He is the top teenage goal scorer in USL Championship, an academy product. One of the many exciting academy players coming out of Sporting Kansas City. The goal he scored last week with a back heel, just so tasty. He is on fire. He will be one to watch tonight.
It is a game that should feature some goal scoring. Hartford Athletic, the first of 3 at Dillon Stadium to close the season. They take on the Swope Park Rangers. That is coming your way next. Back in Hartford, the processional as Hartford Athletic and Swope Park Rangers take the field. This match presented by Barberino Nissan. Our starting 11's brought to you by Premier Limousine. First, for the hometown Hartford Athletic.
Well, you see Cody Cropper, the mainstay in goal of late, and beside him, flanking him, the combination of Lee and Horde. They are always there. Sebastian Dalgard will bring his 5 goals into the lineup. The speedy Harry Swartz will be on the left side, and then the ever-dangerous Jose Angulo will be up top alongside Danny Barrera.
The Premier limousine Swope Park lineup looks like this, a 4-3-3 a la Sporting Kansas City.
Well, John Polskamp will get the start in goal. Ahead of him, Renico Clark and Kave Rod will be the two center backs. Alak will hold down the midfield. And as we talked about, Wilson Harris will be the striker, and the talented youngster Tucker Lepley, number 47, will be on the right side in the up top.
Closer and closer to kickoff. An interesting coaching matchup. Two former teammates from Sporting Kansas City. As you see Jimmy Nielsen there, who is a native of Denmark, but now
he's an
American.
He's an American. He
got his citizenship.
Yes, he did. Congratulations to Coach Nielsen and his entire family. How exciting.
On the other side, Paolo Nagamura, who again played with Nielsen at Sporting Kansas City. You see him there. They won an Open Cup in 2012 together, also an MLS Cup title in 2013 on a very cold and blustery day at what was then Sporting Park.
Well, you know what? That's something that they'll always have, a memory they'll have together, something they'll share. It always kind of bonds you when you win a championship together. You know, those experiences. And you look at the way Sporting Kansas City has just affected soccer in this country and the development. You got these two coaches who are now developing players. Sporting Kansas City with so many young players that are coming through the ranks. Very exciting what's going on there, and then how it's affecting soccer in our country.
Well, the energy at Dillon Stadium is palpable. We'll catch you up now on our injury report, brought to you by Trantolo and Trantolo Personal Injury Attorneys. Hartford dealing with David Jorgensen, Steves, and Dixon still not able to play. Benitez and Thompson out for Swope Park Rangers, who next year will be known as Sporting Kansas City 2, by the way.
Little name change.
Little name change, yes.
Well, they play out at Children's Mercy Park, so
it's befitting.
It is. I think it's the way it should be.
Hartford Athletic will be in the home strips, green and blue, on the emerald green field of Dillon Stadium. Swope Park will defend the goal to our right. The referee is J.J. Belinsky, and it is game on in Hartford. Athletic and Swope Park Rangers for the second time this season. A game won by the team from Kansas City earlier this season, 4-3. And immediately to the end line it goes. It will come back the other way.
Looks as though Horde is already feeling the effects.
Not even a minute in.
First shots fired. Sporting Kansas City, or excuse me, Swope Park Rangers. You've already got me saying the new name, Jeff.
That's what I do, right?
You've already got me there. See what that did?
Say Pedro welcoming him back into the pitch. Cropper will let this fly, the Maple Grove, Minnesota native, known from the New England Revolution. 7th start in goal.
Why
squared left?
Wise choice for him. You always want to play, right?
True.
It makes you better.
Oh, Raymond Lee starting things off, and now on the left side, Dalgard. Worked into the area and getting in an advanced position quickly here. Our Hartford Athletic now going end to end. Gadula getting that starting nod. The center back spot alongside Davey. We'll let the 50-50 ball fly along the near touchline.
Last time Hartford were at home was against Louisville City, a game they lost, but a game they played so well, and I really felt I
should have gotten more from that game.
I do. I felt they deserved more. So really curious. It looks like they're trying to start off again strong on the front foot and asking questions of Swope Park Rangers.
They want to make this stadium a fortress. And that's part of the building process. But yeah, they outshot Louisville on target 5-4 in that game. You go back 2 matches before that were wins against Loudoun and Atlanta.
And so many close chances in that game. I mean, balls that were off the woodwork. And it just begged it that at least a point shared. But we'll see what they get tonight.
Oh, the switch from Angulo, just outside the area, inside the 18 now. Laid at the top of the 6, and a dangerous ball coming back. And it'll be escorted to the near touchline, and out of play will be a throw in for Hartford.
Yeah, you have a look. It was a really smart ball that was switched across, and you'd like to see him get something on target. Maybe should have cut in on his right, but decided to go with his left.
Playing with some fire there in the back. Third minute, just underway. Our match, Hartford Athletic, Swope Park Rangers, presented by Barberino Nissan. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, joined by Tom Traxler. So happy to bring the action to you. First of 3 straight matches to close the season here on the home patch. In this stadium that was originally debuted in 1935 has found new life. Here's Angulo, corner of the area. One-on-one. Alexander sending it all the way across. And out of play.
Angulo so far dangerous over that left side, asking a lot of questions. Whip that ball across, nobody at the far post. That was just begging for someone to be at the far post. You see,
Alec
slows it down, and he sets it up. And oh, you just got to look at Barrera, and if he could have been just a little bit quicker, that's a good chance at a goal.
We'll come back to Hartford. Started on the front foot tonight. Ward. Schwartz on the diagonal, running out of real estate though.
Saw that run by Barrera coming across. You'd like to say when he opens up that space, maybe Angulo coming in behind, that might open up the ball inside for Hartford.
Hartford Athletic would like to extend a special thank you to our title partner, Trinity Health of New England. Ward into the air. Ooh. Perhaps a knock of heads will slow this down. Every referee, as J.J. Belinsky doing, going to stop and check and make sure.
Players going up. Wilson Harris probably getting his arms up a little bit. Natural reaction, you want to get your hands up to protect yourself, but when you get your arms up like that and you make any kind of contact, it's a very easy call for the referee.
Yeah, free kick here for Hartford. Williams on the ball. The Englishman going to put a little English on this and send it to the back stick.
Wants to get this whipped in. Good height, good pace.
Williams delivery. Back post, headed high in the air and out of play, will lead to a corner kick for Hartford Athletic.
Yeah, good clearance. Strong, read well. Not a bad delivery on the ball. Maybe floated just a little bit. You want to get those more in a line, really get them whipped in strong. But as you see, it was still a good ball because the most that Swope Park could do there is just put it over for a corner. So
it'll be Williams to serve this with that dangerous right foot. Brought to you by Bank of America. A lot of these here tonight. Horde serves it in at the 6. It's been an active start here for Hartford Athletic. They'll run out of real estate that time, and it will go in behind for a goal kick for Swope Park Rangers.
Yeah, they've certainly been lively. They've been asking the questions. They seem to have been camped solidly in Swope Park Rangers' end. But Swope Park Rangers weathering the storm, and sometimes when it's like that, you just want to get through these moments. You want to get through these 10 minutes, and if you can get through these first 10 minutes and not concede, you'll grow into the game. At least that's the hope, if you're Paulo Nagamura.
Well, pressure coming from Kuzain. Look at the possession, early going, but anytime you see an 80 up on your side, things are going your way.
The thing is, they've managed not only with that 80% to be in the end, but they've gotten some dangerous balls served in. So they've managed to create some opportunities. Now, they certainly need to test John Pulskamp.
Beautiful night for soccer, a little of that September New England nippiness that we all love. It makes it easy for players to just run all night with reckless abandon.
Yeah, that's fall, and when you're playing in that weather, you feel like you can run all day.
Good ball movement here for Jimmy Nielsen's crew. Continuing to boss the possession stat. Here's DeVitt. Running inside, losing the handle. Kuzain collects. Pressure comes immediately on the turnover. Keeping it on his dominant left foot. there in the center was Alak. And some hand play goes against Hartford Athletic.
Swope Park going to try to establish a rhythm of their own. They've not seen the ball for quite some time, so I would say, hey, let's try and keep it for a few minutes. We've just spent the last good part, 80% of the last 7-8 minutes defending, so let's keep it for a little while. Put Hartford out of their ideas.
Collected. And we work it around the back here. Davey and Gadula, the center back pairing on the outside. Lee and Horde here on the near side. Held up at the halfway line. Patient approach here so far tonight here in the opening 10. Lifting it long. Down was Lee. He puts it in. Again, the service to Schwartz. And then one bounding through, asking for a deflection. It will be chased into the corner.
Anytime you get a ball knocked out, you definitely want to change your line, get up, and get pressure on the next ball.
Coach Nielsen appealing for something to go his team's way there, something he didn't like.
Because as you saw in that last one, DeVitt coming out with a good strike, that could have been trouble. But you want to get someone in front of that if you're Swope Park Rangers. So headed out ball, you don't want to watch it, you want to get out in front of it.
Clark to Alak, who is in trouble. And goes down on the contact. It'll be a free kick here for Swope Park. Angulo, who's a feisty customer. This is a guy who won the gold boot. Well, a co-golden boot with Dominic Dwyer at the time with Orlando City. Back in 2013, he was the MVP of the league that year, and he's 31 and still going strong, the Patterson, New Jersey native.
Now, some might say Dom Dwyer left USL to go to Sporting Kansas City a little early in that season.
Yes,
Dom Dwyer did all his work in about half a season. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, but for him to share that is truly unbelievable, because Dom Dwyer at that time was absolutely on fire.
You and I called that match a 2013 championship match. Dom Dwyer had 4 goals. Christian Martinez for Charlotte had 3. There are future U.S. national team stars in that one. Or at least upcomers, if you don't want to call them stars. Made their name. Here's Alak.
Good run.
Beautiful through ball. We chase to the byline. Alexander leads it into the area. Coming against the run of play, stayed alive. Just knocking it out. Alexander will duel with Schwartz. SPR recovers. Trying to settle the ball and get something going in their own attack. Zé Pedro. Alexander snuffed out by Davey. Still work to do. A little slow to react. Kuzain, a chance to get back on that ball, and he played out for a throw.
Sporting Kansas, or excuse me, Swope Park Rangers. You should have told me that they're changing their name, Jeff. Swope Park Rangers now growing into the game, what we talked about. So weathered that early storm, defended well, defended resolutely. Now they've grown into the game. They're starting to ask their own questions, starting to find a rhythm.
Nothing, a couple of passes linked together. But that can't help. Caught out again is Alak. Don't get as much on that, but finally to Clark's feet.
Sometimes just a series of small little 5-yard passes can change the whole picture.
Alexander to Zé Pedro. Alexander races to the corner of the 18. They'll move it along with Kuzain. Switch continues. Alak winds and fires. Nothing comes out of it. Be happy with the continued possession. Clark. Defense comes out. 13th minute, no score here in Hartford.
Hartford set up pretty well in their blocks here. Good tight blocks. They're getting out wide to pressure well. And forcing the giveaway.
Ward was on it. Lifted long by Barrera. Collected by Angulo. Oh, beautiful through ball inside the area, going down. Play on, nothing in it. It's going to go in behind for a goal kick. Trying to sell that was Williams.
Good run by Ryan Williams, but denied. You see Angulo sees him. Good ball, but you know what? That was a good tackle by Kave Rod. Sometimes as a defender, you do have to be physical, but in the right way, because sometimes that contact can be bad contact and cause a penalty. But in that situation, read it well, defended it well. I think the right call by the official.
John Polskamp is the keeper tonight, making his 12th start in between the pipes. As we enter minute 15. Well, Hartford Athletic would like to recognize the Hartford and all of its founding partners for the 2019 season. The Hartford and Athletic are bringing soccer shots to Dillon Stadium. Sign your 3 to 5-year-old up now to learn from the pros at Hartford. It's been better the last 5 minutes or so for Swope Park. And they got the better of Hartford on their home grass.
Tell you what, Paulo Nagamura has sometimes a tough job, a fun job, but a tough job. You never know what kind of consistency you're going to have in squad selection. You never, and this year with Sporting Kansas City having injuries, you know, players have been changing constantly for him. But, you know, ultimately his job is to develop players for the club to make sure that the pipeline is full, and he's done that. You look at that guy right there, Wilson Harris, and the season he's having so far, and young players like Tucker Lepley getting time. You have a look at Hernandez, who's not in the side today, but has been outstanding for Swope Park Rangers.
Harris and Lepley, two of those players who came out of that academy.
And Jalen Lindsay as well. I mean, let's talk about him, who's on the list of, you know, the top 19.
Number 19 in the 20 under 20
yeah,
list.
Unbelievable.
So he's 19 in the 20 under 20, but he's not in the 18 tonight.
No. Well, you never know, but he's been outstanding. So,
oh, great tackle inside the circle. Switched by Alak. Just getting a piece. Horde will track it back. Cropper. Clark had come up and will be reset with Rod. So a lot of energy expended by Athletic here in the opening 10 minutes or so. Weren't able to cash in. Now settling in are the Swope Park Rangers. Pedro. Step over. Sending it to the spot. Reading it well was Williams. And continuing to reload here on this left side. Alexander. All the way across. Got a bit too much of that one.
Yeah, good run, play, move. If you're Hartford, got to follow your runner. You see that the possession is now swung back into the favor of Swope Park Rangers, as we talked about, you know, just weathering that tough storm, then growing in the game. But, you know, that last cross, not a bad effort, but a little bit overhit. Caught a little bit much.
That game earlier this season, the 4-3 win, it was 3-0 Sporting Swope Park Rangers now up on it after 30 minutes. Dixon and Steves had goals. Neither of those are in the lineup tonight. There was also an own goal. Swope Park conceded some down the stretch. Hartford got some goals. Yeah, Dixon and Steves are the ones that brought it back.
Showed some of the resilience that Hartford has, because sometimes you go down 3-0 and obviously,
yeah,
that's really tough to come back from. But to come back and get 3 goals away from home, that shows good character.
It was Hernandez, who not in the lineup for Swope Park tonight, who got that thing going. Then Kellen Rose, not even in, it's not even in this team at the moment. Had a brace to make it 3-0. That one whistled by Cropper, off target, luckily for Hartford.
Yeah, the diagonal run across kind of opened up that ball, because you have to honor that if you're Hartford. As look, it was a real speedy counterattack, and you see right there the run that was made by Alexander that opened up St. Pedro to come inside onto his right. But a good quick counter by Swope Park.
You make of Pedro and Alexander working on the left side, 2 native Portuguese speakers. How does that help?
Well, I think it helps your communication. If you're speaking your native language, it's much easier. And, you know, so communication between them should be very good.
And stuck out on that left by Nagamura. Alexander's been there all season, making his 28th start tonight. Almost 20 minutes gone. Nothing to speak of as far as goals. A couple of half chances on either side. Two teams battling to climb out of the basement here before the season's end. DeWitt down for it in the center of the park. Horde. Get what he liked. Herrera dropping deeper and deeper to get into the action. Here on the left is Lee. Edge of the 18. Gulo couldn't do much with it.
Tried to be clever.
Backheeled it right to the defender, and the run will continue now. Pedro ended up losing it, though.
Now, if that comes off, you look brilliant.
Oh, it's goal of the week, right?
If that comes off to set that up, oh, different class. Just didn't come off that time. But you love the endeavor and the idea to try.
Switched by Williams. Lee overran it. Luckily, the overlap was there to collect. It was Dalgard. 6'2" Great Dane. Turned over. Swope Park now looking to break out on a counter. Running things is Kuzain. Pedro will hold it up. Alec has had a lot of touches of the ball here in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, he usually does. You see him, he's pivot kind of, but he kind of just sits really deep. Right there, he looks like a center back, but he's not, because the center backs get split wide. So he comes in, he's going to be the one that's going to control tempo.
Setting it up the line. Nothing doing, coming back to Cropper. A half press from Wilson Harris. Nifty work on that far touch line by Dalgard. And team lead, co-team leader in goals, 5 with Dixon and Angulo. And Vucic, who is available to come off the bench tonight.
It's nice to have a player like that to be able to come in, a goal scorer that can come into the game, change the game for you.
Flair for the dramatic. He had that game winner against Atlanta in the 89th back on August 24th. Flipped ahead. Herrera wasn't able to see the end of that one. Who else? Alec on the ball. Clark to Rod. The Belgian Alec.
Both teams really being patient, wanting to build out the back. To keep the ball, you have to be patient sometimes. Don't force things. But
make Hartford come out of the shell a little bit.
well, when you do this, the one thing you have to watch out for, you're playing around the back, is Hartford's going to keep coming up and up and up and see what's happening. You're moving further back, and here comes the pressure. Eventually, you've got to break lines. You've got to get into the midfield. You've got to find different levels of the park. You can see here, they've just turned that over. So keeping possession's fine, but you've got to be able to get the ball forward. Otherwise, as you saw, here comes the pressure, and you usually give it up.
Dalgard. Lee, we're trying to combine. We'll make the switch from the back line. Dula, Horde, into some space. Swartz. Horde gets the cross away to the back stick. Punched out of there by Polskamp. Working hard to recover. There was Lepley. Pedro. Cuts in, now cuts out. Oh, good read of the game. Stuff from Williams. Offside on Angulo. Oh, finished with aplomb though. It's just not going to count.
It does not count.
Well, fans, Hartford Athletics' next home match is this Wednesday, October 9th at 7 o'clock here at Dillon Stadium. The boys in green are back for the ESPN national broadcast, and it's $1 hot dog night. Don't miss the pregame CT Sports Business and Entertainment Career Fair starting at 4:30. Every match ticket includes registration for that career fair. Single game tickets start at just $16. Get your tickets today at hartfordathletic.com. Call the Hartford Athletic Ticket Office or email tickets at hartfordathletic.com for more information.
$1 hot dogs.
Sign me up.
I would get so sick because I'd eat so many. I'd bring a stack of ones and just buy hot dogs.
Don't do it before you broadcast. That's all I say.
I don't know if I could be the hot dog eating champion, but I'd eat my fair share.
Either Kobayashi or...
I couldn't. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Here we go.
Here on the counter, Hartford on the build-up. Trying to hot dog their way to an opening goal. Comes across, and Polskamp can only just absorb it and put it in behind. It'll be a corner kick here for Hartford Athletic.
Dalgard trying to be a hot dog, trying to beat him to the near post. Polskamp had a different idea. See, he takes up his space well, sees the space in front of him, gets on his left, tries to have it go to the near post.
He put some mustard on that.
He did. Now, if he'd had some ketchup as well, might have gone in.
Would have relished that opportunity, Tom.
Well, it is a chilly night in Hartford.
Stop being cheesy. There's a delivery. And finding the ground, a foul happened in the box. And player down is Clark. Here for Swope Park Rangers.
Dalgard's Danish. He's not German, or I'd have said he missed that and he was a sauerkraut.
Oh. Danish. He's sweet.
Hey,
he's Danish.
He's a good player. He's got 5 goals on the season.
Take a look and see this clash from the big men. 3 coming together. And you always, again, want to make sure you check the head injury. More of an emphasis now. As far as concussion awareness. The game's not there yet, you'd have to say, but it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's been kind of back and forth, each team having their moments in the game. That's a heck of a challenge.
Heard that all the way up here. Athletic will have possession. A little pressure coming from Wilson Harris. Set forward. Williams. Oh, trying to get the turn was Williams. Ball back harmlessly. Coming up on 30 minutes gone. These teams have been trying to loosen each other up. Hartford out shooting them 4-2 at this juncture. Horde will cut it back. Right on him was Zay Pedro, commits the foul. Swope Park coming in winners of 3 of their last 4. They're a team that has struggled away from Children's Mercy Park. Just 1 win on the road.
Look, winning on the road's not easy for any team. So, you know, these two teams certainly, I think when you look across their records, you know, you have Swope Park, as you just mentioned, is 1-12-2. You know, 5 points away from home, but you know, more importantly, they've conceded 34 times, and they've been shut out 5 times.
Hartford just 2 wins away from the hometown. Currently 4-5-1 here at Dillon Stadium since opening at the beginning of the summer. And the plan is to make this place a fortress, a place to fear. Falls inside the 18-yard box just outside the 6. And Gulo was just waiting for it. Clark. Oh, trying to body him off. Whistle happens and the adjudication goes in favor of Swope Park here. Swartz not inclined to agree with the decision. Neither is Jimmy Nielsen.
No, he definitely
walked away
agree with that. And I think it's right there. You see him trying to shield it off, but very, very late.
Swartz getting the explanation, and of course the 4th official, Adam Rice, hearing it from Jimmy Nielsen.
Wow. Not sure I agree with that myself, especially given a free kick there. Not so sure. In fact, I would say I'm quite sure it wasn't. Coach Jimmy Nielsen, the new American citizen, has every right to be upset with that.
Hoping his players can deliver a naturalization gift tonight. Right now, the only thing being handed out is going to be a yellow card. Zay Pedro going into the book. Here, Paulo Nagamura making his case. So Pedro picking up the yellow card.
Well, for kicking the ball away.
Yeah.
Well, that's for kicking the ball away when they're about to take a free kick, which is, it happens in the game for sure. But I think the point there is he's about to kick the ball. It's not like you. Sometimes when the fouls just happen, players play the ball away. That ball was set, ready to go, and then they kick it away. Yeah, Zay Pedro, you're going to draw the attention of the referee there.
So delay of the game is what Nagamura is saying, but
he's telling the one guy who can do very little about it, the 4th official, who gets the
sounding board, right?
He gets the most abuse of any official there is. And he can do very little. He can't do anything, really.
It's first yellow card of the season on Pedro, by the way. Generally stays clean.
For coaches, they say, you're a yellow shirt. I'm going to say this to you. And he's still going at him.
Well, Hartford Athletic fans, be sure to vote for your Cigna Man of the Match on Twitter using that hashtag, Cigna MOTM. Defensive due diligence there by Gadula. Still marauding through is Harris. Down in the area, nothing doing. And it's getting a bit feisty.
What happens is usually when the coaches get into it, everything starts to heighten.
Who mic'd up Paulo Nagamura tonight? So he was going down before the contact, it appears.
Yeah, I didn't see. I think it's the right call to make.
But you got to advocate for your boys, right?
Well, you're always going to appeal for your side. Absolutely.
It's getting ratcheted up just a couple of notches here as we get late on in this first half. We check the injury horde being checked out by the training staff. Well, the Hartford Athletic have teamed up with Cigna to launch a new philanthropic campaign, Every Save Matters. Cigna will donate $75 for every Hartford Athletic save for the entire 2019 season. So far, Cigna has committed over $6,500 to Team Impact. Proceeds will benefit Team Impact, a national nonprofit that connects children facing serious and chronic illnesses with athletic teams, forming lifelong bonds and life-changing outcomes. Cigna is a founding partner of the Hartford Athletic. Ward back on his feet. Great crowd in the house tonight. Well, it's saying something. You have a team that really hasn't performed in the standings the way you'd liked in its expansion year, but the fans have bought into what Jimmy Nielsen and the entire front office as well have done this year. And to play it through, boy, took a wicked deflection. That might have been a goal for Angulo as he was in. Energy ratcheting it up. Massive, the 19th Regiment, the Elm City Casuals doing their due diligence.
Oh yeah, you can hear them loud and clear. Love it. You love that supporter culture that exists.
For some reason, when the temperatures start cooling off, the sound travels even further.
Sound travels further. You know, and when you're cold, you tend to want to stay warm, so you maybe everything just becomes a little louder, a little faster.
Attack here over everybody, trying to find Swartz. Oh, turned over. Angulo will give it a go. Safely in the hands of Polskamp, but he had a free shot.
Renico Clark just looked at the heavens and said thank you, because he had a giveaway. And Angulo was eyeing that far post. You see, he looks up. I think he wants, I'm not sure who he wants, to be quite honest with you there. Oh. But it's turned over, and Angulo's not going to miss that very many times.
Turned it on that left foot. That's why you have a veteran like him on the roster. Create havoc and then take the opportunities afforded. I'm sure he would have wanted more than 5 goals this season. 37 shots. Ian Dixon entered this match tied in that department. Now Angulo is inched ahead.
I mean, look, he's been a goal scorer. He had a career high year in 13 with Pittsburgh, with 23 goals last year, 11 goals with
Oklahoma City,
OKC Energy.
Played with St. Louis, Fort Lauderdale in the NASL before that. Harrisburg is when we first remember calling games with him. The old, now defunct City Islanders. Are they Penn FC now?
Penn FC, I believe you're right.
And a couple of USL championships. 2011 and 2014, the City Islanders. Bill Betcher, longtime head coach. A throw in here for Swope Park. Oh, nice turn by Harris. Hartford have 55% of the possession, by the way. We get closer and closer to that halftime whistle.
This game is just begging for a goal. It needs something to ignite it even further. It started to get a little chippy. You saw some of the emotions starting to boil over. But it just needs that goal.
We'll be careful here. Ward with Wilson Harris right on his back. Glad to have you along tonight. Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler, and our entire crew on MyTV9 and ESPN Plus. So glad to have you along wherever you happen to be. Or watching the replay after coming home from Dillon Stadium.
You mentioned something very important about the crowd that's there tonight, and that's really encouraging if you're Hartford. First seasons can be tough, but you're establishing yourself. But now you look and you've established yourself with a fantastic supporter base.
Well, the supporters have been there from minute one this season. Win, lose, or draw. Horde. Certainly healthy. The only USL team in New England. That one going across the face of goal. Just getting a piece of it was Pulskamp. Nobody there in the back end. Swartz was nearest to it. Rod. And then cleared out just to be safe about it. It'll lead to a corner kick here for Hartford.
Great ball movement left to right. Good usage by Hartford, and an equally great save by Pulskamp. As you have a look, that's a great ball wide. And Dalgard puts it right on target. Good first touch to set up his second touch. Pulskamp with an outstanding save to keep it level.
Another Bank of America corner kick. Williams lofts that one with a pitching wedge. And Kuzain comes out, bat out of heck. We'll just play it all the way across in the plenty of open space.
I think he was just knew he was pressured running out of room, because that one of the Swope Park Rangers players would have to be shot out of a cannon to catch it.
Oh, and that will be pulled back, a foul. And Williams, the player down here for Athletic.
Young Tucker Lepley. Getting himself stuck in here.
17-year-old trying to make a difference.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
got a handful of his face. Never good.
No, I think he caught Ryan Williams square on the schnoz.
Still there. Oh, and a card's forthcoming for the 17-year-old Lepley.
Not intentional, young man, but a little bit reckless. No, your hands were up. You caught him square in the face, bub. And if you've ever been punched in the nose, you know that hurts.
Sounds like you speak from experience, Tom.
I've been hit in the nose before.
Well, the soccer ball, right?
Yeah, well, I've been hit in the nose with a soccer ball, elbows. It hurts. It doesn't feel good.
Sometimes it makes you sneeze, too.
Yeah, although I've never sneezed.
If it's just a glancing blow. Well, referee J.J. Belinsky's issued the second yellow card of this match. I'm not quite sure what Clark is arguing. But sticking up for his teammate.
17-year-old academy product.
From Charlotte, North Carolina, by the way. This is his 8th appearance of the season tonight. And when you're one of those MLS-affiliated teams, you often see the younger rosters.
Hey, listen, there's a phrase that says if you're good enough, you're old enough. That's all that matters.
The phrase it pays. Pulskamp has been tested so far tonight. Hartford out shooting Swope Park 6-2. They've had 3 of them on target to none for the visitors from Kansas City. Controlled and turned over. Well, who wants it in the center of the park? Settled forward by Alexander. Here's Harris. Zé Pedro. Gives it back to Alak. And we'll switch the point. Lepley, who just went into the book, will cut to his left. Lepley with some space to operate. Runs out of it. Alak gingerly moves it left. Good defending here by Hartford again, just pushing them back.
Yeah, look, they stuck with their runner there. They keep someone on the ball. They have good discipline. Yeah, defended very well. Good shape by Hartford.
Angulo, Herrera won't be able to catch it. Back to Pulskamp. And Pulskamp, the Bakersfield, California native, puts it into the stands. The stadium has seen so many big moments in its history. Even this season with some comeback wins, but going way back before it was known as a soccer venue.
A few games ago, I saw a goal explosion by Hartford when they took on Loudon.
5-1.
Oh, but it was jumped all over them.
That was
18 minutes.
It was 3-0 inside of 10 minutes.
Yeah, crazy. And it could have been worse. There's some other opportunities to hit the woodwork. That shows you. I mean, you always say, like, a good 10 minutes may not win you a game, but a bad 10 minutes can lose you a game.
And that was that case.
Oh,
on that evening.
Loudon figured that one out, and Hartford saw the really good end of 10 minutes.
73, I believe, the year that the U.S. national team played here. Oh, another face rake. DeWitt.
He's up and he says, "Where's the card? You gave Lepley a card." And they kick for kicking the ball away as well.
Trying to talk to his fourth official.
They're pointing out all the Hartford transgressions.
Yep. All right. Swartz goes into the book.
So have a look. There's the so his arm comes across rather light.
Should be DeWitt.
I mean, it should be DeWitt. Yeah, it should be DeWitt. I mean, rather light. But you're going to try to get some type of an advantage for your team in those situations.
Swartz was the one that was shown the card, but DeWitt was the one that looked like he committed the foul. So if that gets re-adjudicated. 2 minutes of stoppage time. We're 30 seconds and change beyond that. Kuzain. Take a spin around the USL Championship coming up at the half. Have scores from around the league, highlights from this first half. Going through the stats. Somebody popped the cork in this game. Still 0-0. And turned over. A lazy ball.
So far, I mean, if you're Hartford, again, defensively, very sound. And that's important. I mean, this is a team that's, oh, hello.
And another yellow.
And you get a card.
Your turn. Raymond Lee, his second yellow of the season. Pretty obvious that time for the man who was playing in Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah, look, no surprise in this one. He turns, takes a little heavy touch. Lepley's gonna get there first just as Lee goes to play the ball forward, but he catches a lot of Tucker Lepley. And it's late, so that usually sends you in the book. Now, I was saying, defensively they've been very good. So far, limited Swope Park Rangers, no efforts on target so far. And that's important. I mean, this is a team in Hartford that has, you know, given up 77 goals on the season. So, and not many clean sheets to speak of. If I'm right, I think they only have one and no clean sheets at home. So I think that would be a big target for them tonight, keep a clean sheet at home.
Service in, bounces inside the 18. Coming out is Swartz. And that will do it for half number one. So a good showing defensively for Hartford Athletic. No goals to show for their efforts, but we'll have the halftime speech to listen to and think things over and plan for half number two. Halftime at Dillon Stadium, no score. Hartford Athletic, Swope Park Rangers. halftime show coming your way right after this. It is athletic soccer on MyTV 9 and ESPN Plus. No score at the half with Swope Park Rangers. Jeff Radcliffe and Tom Traxler. Let's take a look around a busy week in the USL Championship, especially in the Eastern Conference. Highlights from the last week.
Scintillating stuff from Harris. And he delivered. Fires it home. His first goal at the Swope Park Rangers, Ayurala, and it's 2-0 FPR. Striding forward. Slotting it in for Zay Pedro. He's in on his left foot, and he hammers it home! And the Swope Park Rangers take a 3-1 lead over Birmingham.
Fan out to defend. Paredes into the penalty area looking for Kyle Murphy. Terrific header. A delectable service. And Loudoun United on the counterattack. Punch a hole in the Pittsburgh defense. Driving forward, slips it through. Velarde knocks it across. It's Nico Brett. And the Riverhounds have an answer here in Leesburg. Whipped in, it gets all the way through, and it's off Joe Greenspan and in. Not the most aesthetically pleasing goal that anybody will score in this league, but at the top of the Eastern Conference table, when it's this tight, the Hounds will take it. It was not easy. It did not come without some bumps in the road, but Bob Lilly and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 3 points clear of Nashville Soccer Club.
Right on ice, scores! Carl Howard absolutely freezes Evan Newton, couldn't see it through the wall. 1-0 Ottawa. And there's the final whistle, a massive 1-0 victory for Ottawa Fury FC over Indy 11. Ottawa gets back in the win column.
Look at this charging run. Odoy Atcham tightens it up. For the second straight game, they lead against a serious championship contender. Gorski, who Di Pietro plays it
long-range effort. Oh, that's spectacular.
From distance, and it's a goal.
That's a great save, Van Oekel.
That's it for Hartford Athletic.
Hamilton back out wide. Chance to put this in the penalty area. Chance, a goal! Devin Sandoval brings them to their feet in Albuquerque. A minute to play. Dia puts it in. Definitely headed away. Shot comes in. It's 2-2. Oh, can you believe it? From 2-0 down, Phoenix are level. Making the run, Mo Hernandez, edge of the box. Hernandez, great move, gets free. Hernandez gives SAFC the lead.
I told you the big man was feeling it tonight.
Low into the middle.
Oh, good shot.
Goes right, gets the shot away, score! Nowhere to go for Lorenzi.
Back in the middle looking for Cox, trying to set up a shot, and it finds the corner. We're level at 2, and all of a sudden, game on here in Tucson. This is in the middle, looking for Ramos. Bingo! It's off the hands of Hara and in. The opening goal for Toronto FC 2. Moape lost it. Boateng on the run. Boateng back in the net. Charles Boateng is first in league play. To send it in. Headed away, couldn't get by the first man. Bermudez might come away with it, and he does! And there's nobody in goal! Greenville are going to score, and they're going to the playoffs! Greenville and Chris Bermudez!
What a finish there. We're halfway home in Hartford. Athletic 0-0 with Swope Park Rangers. As we take a look at news and notes from around the USL Championship. Well, the battle for the East, 9 teams remain alive. Memphis 901 FC making a late push, just 4 points out. Out in the West, Orange County. SC, they ended a 6-game win streak last Saturday. Weren't going to get close to Phoenix's, I don't believe. 8 points separating 4th and 14th. And of course, Wednesday night soccer featuring your Hartford Athletic looking to spoil Birmingham Legion's postseason plans. Excuse me. They're currently in 10th in the Eastern Conference, Tom.
Yeah, look, that could be a dangerous team. Don't count them out of anything.
There's a look at the current live Eastern Conference standings. Again, Birmingham Legion in 10th. So again, playing the role of spoils perhaps next week for Hartford. Pittsburgh has really been in the ascendancy the last month or so, and now are at the top. You see some of these teams at the beginning of the season. Tampa Bay,
New York
and New York have dropped. Louisville to the 7th spot.
Yeah, tumbling a little bit. Louisville still with some room with a game or 2 games in hand, the way you look at it. So that top 3, 4, 5 position 6 that could be changing quite a little bit.
A lot of work for St. Louis and Birmingham, that is for sure. Anthony Pulis' men in St. Louis, as they will play Tuesday against Loudoun United on the road. Our ESPN Plus game, Nashville SC, been on a tear of late against Louisville City. That's one you would pay admission for sure. Swope Park Rangers will host Ottawa Fury FC, and of course Wednesday night soccer, as you mentioned, ESPN News, Hartford Athletic, Birmingham Legion FC. Well, sad news to report this week, as a player well known in USL circles, Promise Isaac from the Austin Bold, dying suddenly. Former Nigerian youth international, man who won a silver medal in Beijing in the Olympics, passed away suddenly at 31 years old. Our thoughts are with everybody in Austin, with his family, and with the community as well. Promise Isaac was 31.
don't just protect things. We help protect the life you've built around them. Travelers, it's better under the umbrella.
Where some see a barber, I see a magician. I see Hugo, of Hair by Hugo. Wizard of whiskers. Sorcerer of scissors. Houdini of hair. Hugo is a small business owner. Me, I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see nothing small in small business.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance. The Buck's got your back.
Nick, you need a decision. These days, we all feel a little anxious sometimes. But if you could see inside my mind, you'd find I'd go to my happy place. See, if we let tensions run the show up here, then our bodies won't perform at their best out here.
Wait, are we going to the sound check?
Priorities. So I'm partnering with Cigna to remind you that how you're doing emotionally affects you physically. Go for your annual checkup and be open with your doctor about anything you're feeling, physically and emotionally. Body and mind. Cigna, together all the way.
The excitement that is Hartford Athletic Soccer. 0-0 though at the half with Swope Park Rangers. Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler as we get you set up for the second 45 of this one. Look, Hartford has gotten some good results the last few games at home. Went 2-1 and have a chance here to make it 3-1, but they got some work to do. Here's some highlights from the first half.
Yeah, for sure. This game has just kind of swung back and forth in terms of little shifts in momentum. It was Hartford starting off really strong, creating some opportunity, and then as Swope Park Rangers defended well, they started to grow into the game and then started to ask some questions. Really, most of the good chances, though, fell the way of Hartford Athletic. If you look, they have 3 shots on target in the first half to Swope Park Rangers, none. Swope Park Rangers proved to be effective in the counter, and that's something that I'm sure Paulo Nagamura is going to be talking about with his players, that as Hartford come on to you, they do open that up, and they have countered very, very well. But Swope Park Rangers are going to have to keep a good eye on a player like Sebastian Dalgard, because he certainly has a bit of score, as well as Jose Angulo. They've both figured into the chances so far for Hartford Athletic. So I think it's setting us up for possibly a tasty second half. Certainly a goal is needed first. We'll see who can get that breakthrough opening.
It's not even a $1 hot dog night tonight, and it's going to be tasty. How this build up right here. And Polskamp really kept keeping his team from going down early in this one and conceding. So we'll switch sides. Polskamp now on that left goal, defending for the visitors. See if there are any halftime adjustments tactically. Angulo and Williams set to start things off. Referee J.J. Belinsky waiting to restart the proceedings.
We're all set, man. Go ahead.
Come on, man. Go. And it's game on once more in Hartford, Connecticut. Athletic now going from right to left. Angulo now will track this. A little bit of shove in the back. A little return shove for good measure, and he gets called for the foul.
As Rubbin.
Rubbin's racing.
Rubbin's racing.
So let him know you're there.
Yep.
Well, I mentioned really how this home venue has been good. Yes, they've lost that game to Louisville, but as we said early on in this match, that game easily could have been won by Hartford against one of the better teams in the East. And then before that, the 2 wins. Starting to really find comfort in their new home facility.
Yeah, I mean, well, they were away from home forever to begin the season as construction, or the remodel was finished on this beautiful new I'll say new facility because they really upgraded it.
Everything old is new again.
Exactly, and I like that. I like the fact that you can renovate and make something old new again.
Take a place where Mick Jagger threw a microphone, started a near riot.
Yeah, he showed Axl Rose how to do it.
Yes. You know, Axl Rose not an original in that department.
No.
Sandus seen some place has seen some soccer dating back to '73 when the U.S. national team got that 1-0 international friendly victory against Bermuda. And controlling things at the half is Alak. Swope Park in the attacking half. Vital challenge by Hartford's Logan Gadula. Corner of the area, slipped through. Still the edge. That foul started in the box. And do we have a penalty?
I think we do.
If that is a foul where it started, it would be a penalty kick here for Swope Park.
No, we do. You can see the Hartford players going immediately over to go, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Didn't see J.J. Belinsky make the signal, but we did see the foul.
Well, look, clearly you can tell by the reaction of the Swope Park Ranger players, he's called a penalty. As you have a look, it was a great run. Segbers is in the box there. Yeah, look, his feet, he was in the box. Where he was leaning does not quite matter. There's the contact and the arm coming up.
You feel the contact, you're doing what you're taught.
When you make that kind of contact and you're an attacking player and you feel that contact, you're usually going to go over. But I will say, Raymond Lee's a pretty big fella, so if you got him laying on your back, you're probably going to go over.
It's Wilson Harris staring down Cody Cropper, trying to keep this scoreline level at 0-0. Harris sitting on 10 goals. Leading scorer for Swope Park on the penalty attempts. The run up, and it's saved by Cropper and cleared off the line. Riley took it wide, and it stays 0-0. Cropper fired up.
Is that soccer gods speaking, saying, no, should have been a penalty? We don't know, but let's have a look at this penalty. Wilson Harris steps up. I don't think it's a well-taken penalty. No, not at all. Not in a corner, not hit hard enough, certainly hit low, but not a well-taken penalty. And that's not going to get by too many goalkeepers, certainly not Cody Cropper there.
Those are the things that can come back to haunt you, especially looking for road points. Well, you mentioned soccer gods.
Well, sometimes they'll tell you whether something should have been a penalty or shouldn't have. I don't know. Referee saw it as a penalty for sure.
Let's see if this fires up the lads.
Sometimes a big save can certainly swing momentum.
Cropper was kind of shaded on that right side, kind of expected it to come.
Yeah, he may have guessed right, but the effort was just not well hit.
Harris will stay on 10 goals. That would have put him all alone in the lead for teenage goal scorers in USL Championship this year. Angulo. It's crowded here on the near touchline. Ah, boy, every foul being contested by each bench.
Each coach, my team does nothing wrong.
J.J. Belinsky's had a busy night. Time to get out the Barbasol.
Well, that's a light cat.
Yeah, that's not gonna shave much off the beard.
Look, he didn't even care.
He says,
put it over I can't see the line. Did you put something down? I don't know.
Don't see it from here.
I'm gonna put the ball here. Who cares about your Barbasol line?
Oh,
I certainly don't.
Foamy.
Look, referee doesn't care either. He's like,
well, it's disappeared by now anyway.
Formality.
This will be Williams. In swinging ball, top of the 18. Comes out on its way and off the crossbar.
That looked
Dalgard, had a good look at it.
That looked a good effort. As soon as he hit it, you kind of knew that that could cause trouble. Just wanted it was going to dip down soon enough. Get a little clearance. You got to get out and on top of that, and they tried, and that was coming down probably just another yard back, and you're looking at 1-0. John Pulskamp at full stretch. Not much he could do with it.
Control, taking that off the chest and hitting it on the volley. Just couldn't get it in the back of the net. Would have been 1-0 up for Hartford. Pulskamp boots it away. Snap. Penalty kick save the spark. Angulo lets it fly. Heads up behind the goal. Had more of that mustard on it we were talking about in the first half.
Yeah, Dalgard trying to make the run inside, but that really doesn't change too much. It still left Angulo on for that effort. So he tries to go high near post, which is where you should go to try to beat a goalkeeper. But doesn't keep it on frame and takes off into the Hartford evening.
Well, immediately being put under pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, got to be steady with the ball if you're Swope Park here, and they will lose possession.
Yeah, see, it's getting harder and harder to play at the back now from goal kicks. Teams just set up. They put 6-7 players forward, and they're waiting. They're baiting you to do it.
Especially if you're a team like Swope Park, who through hell or high water at times will try to play out of the back.
Well, see, it's trouble right here. And possession's been surrendered.
Dalgard splitting 2 defenders. Ball stays alive, and
whoop,
easy.
You can't
Zay went down a little easy.
He did, but you can't put your hands on someone's face. You can't do that. Now, I'm not seeing what the referee's going to do. I mean, certainly on first look, on initial live look, it didn't appear to be that serious. He knows the hands are in his face, though, and he's certainly playing it up.
Getting a little bellicose early in the second half.
So we have a look. He comes in. So he gets a little knock in the back. See that?
It was like a chain reaction.
He gets a little knock in the back, and look, honestly, there's the knock in the back. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, your hands are on my face. I'm going to go down. But you don't put your hand. When you do that, you've given the referee an interpretation to make. It's just a mistake to do.
Yep. Pedro.
Someone's got some bleeding going on. That is.
The question is whose blood? Oh, you on the knees there? Yes,
Yeah.
I see.
That's
I'll have to come
Cave
off.
Rod. Yeah, typically you have to come off to get that taken care of.
Well, Hartford Athletic invites supporters to join our title partner, Trinity Health of New England's 61-day challenge. For more information on this nutrition challenge and to sign the pledge, visit trinityhealthofne.org.
I mean, someone's making a meal of this. I mean, seriously.
Should do that on Dollar Hot Dog.
But again, you cannot put your hands near someone's face. It's seriously, Zay Pedro, you're making a meal of it, my friend. You're not that hurt.
Pedro, the native of Portugal. São João de Madeira. Part of the youth setup at Porto.
Now, it is his job to try to get every advantage for his team. I don't blame him for that.
Schnaz is all right.
And it sounds like nothing's going to happen. They're going to have a little talk, and that's the way it's going to be.
Guys are just going to simmer down now.
Paulo Nagamura certainly worked up over it. And we're moving on.
And we're moving on.
Look, probably the right decision. But again, when you look at Sebastian Dalgard, don't put your hands near someone's face. You can get yourself in big trouble for doing that.
unless you're Atlanta United, some people will tell you. Of MLS. Atlanta United. From distance. Ooh, off of Cropper, and some work to do for Davey, who makes no mistake.
That had some
Good
venom
play
on
from the Englishman. Hertfordshire.
Was that from, did St. Pedro hit that one? That one had venom behind it. That one was hit like you were angry.
One save now made tonight on that Cigna save tracker you see up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen.
Good pressure by Dalgard there.
Turn from Angulo. Inside the area, sent across, goal! Hartford Athletic. Ryan Williams has it if he isn't offside.
Well, I don't think the call's been made as much as Swope Park wants it, but that all started with Sebastian Dalgard winning the ball in the midfield. I hope they can back it up to that point, because that's what created this goal. Yeah, he gets it, they find it in the midfield, Angulo looks over, Swartz comes across. Nope, that's definitely not offside. Not from the angle that we had for sure. And all Ryan Williams had to do was just nestle it home into the empty net. And as much as you credit him for being in the right place, a good ball across by Harry Swartz, I'm giving a big shout out on that one to Sebastian Dalgard, because he won the ball that got the whole thing started.
Williams' third goal of the season makes it 1-0 Hartford. And now you think back to the missed penalty, or the saved penalty rather. Getting it forward again, trying to get all of it was Zay Petro. And missed it by that much.
Good interplay, good movement, had just about everything but the finish.
The support rewarded for their patience tonight. 1-0 to the good for Hartford Athletic.
And again, good pressure by Hartford. Again, Sebastian Dalgard doing a great job. But then the choice of this ball inside to Barrera, finds Angulo, finds Swartz. A good movement, sweeping counterattack moment once they won the ball. And they won it high at the park. That's where you want to win it. That good pressure. When you win it in the opponent's third, your chances of scoring a goal increase.
Williams in the 57th have Hartford up 1-0 in the live standings in the Eastern Conference. For the time being, Hartford has now jumped Swope Park, a little leapfrog in the standings.
Out of the cellar.
Still have a good half an hour and change to go, though.
Still drama to be written. And the way this is going, could be some drama.
I think you may be right. On the left side, Alexander. Now goes into touch. Come back to Athletic.
Certainly makes that group happy.
I've been waiting on that goal all night. Providing that soundtrack to soccer in Hartford.
The beautiful symphony of hearing supporters. It's a beautiful sound.
Coming away again was Williams. And into touch it goes back to Swope Park. We're in the portion of the match now where you think managers may be thinking about changes.
Yeah, it's getting about
shake the game up a little bit.
It's getting about that time. I think if you're Swope Park, you've got to find some effort on target. So are you thinking about personnel changes, a little shape change?
Swope Park 5 shots, 2 on target, 6 and 3 for Hartford Athletic. Maybe more coming here from Angulo.
Now, how big is that Cropper save on the penalty?
That's what I was saying, yeah. Goals change games, Tom.
That is the phrase.
And goals that don't get scored also change games.
Well,
oh, the intricacies there on that right side. Served up and in!
Oh, wow.
It is 2-0. Barrera with a touch of class.
He found that nestled in inside the post. John Polskamp at full stretch. If he could have done a stretch Armstrong to try to make his arm, but it just held out there for him, and he's trying to get there, and it's just, the ball was bent just too far away. The ball was just too good.
Danny's second goal of the season doubles the lead.
Polskamp and that ball seemed to hang in the air for about 5 seconds. So have a look. Barrera right there knows exactly what he wants to do, and it's tantalizing. And it was the deflection ultimately that did it, and a lot of times it does.
In the 62nd, it is now 2-0. Man from Thousand Oaks, California. Any more experienced men on this roster. Cracks the scoring column once more. Could we have 3? That one trying to find Angulo. Boy, another step and he might have been on it.
Well, I mean, when you're in the position that both Hartford and Swope Park Rangers are, you're not going to sit back. Even on 2, go for it. Keep playing. Go for a third. What's it going to change? It'll change the score line, but it's not going to certainly change the fates of both of these teams.
Tonight is the first of 3 at home to close the season for Hartford. Talk about building momentum going into the offseason. You've already got this great crowd here at Dillon Stadium, and you're only going to build upon that. When you come out, you're not just seeing a soccer match, you're seeing a party.
Exactly, and that's what they want to see. You want to see your hometown team being successful, the team you support, and that's what they're giving their loyal supporters, is a good show.
Halak. One of the things you're concerned with when you're a very young team like Swope Park, sometimes you go a goal or 2 down, then the chasm opens up wider and wider.
Oh, again, a free kick here. Here's a chance to maybe
Pull
change the score line. This is a free kick in a really good area.
64th minute, free kick coming just outside the 18 for Swope Park Rangers. Came into this match 25 points.
Have a look. Who's gonna have a go at this? Near post certainly in play, so if you're Cody Cropper, you've got to be aware. Both posts really, far post, near post. Got to let your wall sort of do the job on the near post. He'll probably set himself more middle as he does there.
Went into the wall.
The wall does the job.
And now pushing him back. Lofted to the area, trying to find Clark. He's coming up on the set piece. Alexander. He plays a negative ball back to the keeper, Polskamp, who's now been beaten twice. Tom, you talked about really the defensive performance thus far in that first half. Now you're getting the offense to kind of get in tune here in the second. A good performance for Jimmy Nielsen's men with still time on the clock to go, though.
For sure, but it's been that higher pressure that's really helped. It's been pressuring them and Swope Park Rangers in their third, and it's bear fruit for Hartford. 2 goals to the good.
There's Alexander, cut inside. Lifted all the way across, just headed wide. Good work by Horde. Pedro. Ooh. If the step over, got a bit of a nutmeg. Didn't lead to anything too dangerous. Comes all the way out. And now Angulo, one-man wrecking crew at the top of that formation. And it will be recovered. Well, Hartford Athletics' next home match is this Wednesday, October 9th, here at Dillon Stadium, 7 o'clock. The boys in green are back for the ESPN national broadcast, and again, $1 hot dog night. Don't miss pregame CT Sports Business and Entertainment Career Fair starting at 4:30 p.m. Every match ticket includes registration for that career fair. Single game tickets start at just $16. As the buildup comes, Zay leaves it back, and it's through, and it's 2-1. So took advantage of the mistake, and a goal for Swope Park Rangers.
And that is game on right there. Momentum. I tell you, this has been a game of just little momentum swings right now. Swope Park Rangers have the momentum swinging back in their favor. And again, just almost the same as Hartford does it with turnovers, with putting pressure on the attacking third. Once you win it, immediately getting forward into the box.
Alex,
that's a good
goal.
That's a good pulled back ball. And Alec makes no mistake with it.
Alex, the Moroccan U20 performer, it is 2-1. There will be no shutouts here in Hartford.
He's certainly got Swope Park rocking.
Just had the one clean sheet the entire season.
A lot of time. Like we said, it could be drama in this one. This could be a wild finish. You never know.
Good for the neutral.
Certainly both teams, unfortunately for them, have conceded a lot of goals this year, so goals are always possible in this game.
Cut in half, 2-1. In the 69th minute.
That is not a bad ball into that area. If someone could be home.
And it's getting a little stretched here. We get later and later in this match. Into the 6th, a little flick to the near post. Not on target.
Well, this is where if you're Swope Park Rangers, it's time to make sure defensively you're organized. Make sure you're picked up. Make sure you're marked up well. You've done the business to bring yourself back into the game. You don't want to concede quickly. You don't want to concede at all the rest of the way. You've got to get goals, but you certainly want to give yourself a chance to level it up.
There's been goals every 5 minutes since the 57th. And that one too ambitious. Williams got Hartford on the board. Swartz had the assist in the 57th. Then 5 minutes later, Barrera tallied. Swartz again got the helper. And then Swope Park, Zay Pedro, his second assist of the year to Alex, second goal of the year. That coming in minute 67. And still 20 minutes to go.
Plenty of time. And in this one, just about anything could happen.
Hey, these two teams combined for 7 goals the first time they met at Children's Mercy Park. And what was a fun affair. Swope Park jumped on them 3-0. And give credit, Hartford came back to make it something. What does the goal do other than just get you back in the game for Swope Park? But you're kind of reeling a little bit. You've conceded 2 goals if you're Swope Park Rangers. You got some young players out there, and now you're back in it. How does that help the mindset of a youth or a younger player on a roster?
Yeah, I think you go from being 2-0 down and things aren't looking good, and but the one thing that they should know, they're still experienced soccer players. And, here we go.
And luckily Cropper recognized the danger with Harris running in late.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it's a good looking through ball though. But it buoys you because now you're like, well, it looks like we can't get much, and then you get the 1 goal and you're like, hey, we're right back in this, and you start to, you're buoyed by that. You start to gain in confidence.
Well, Rad will concede the corner kick. Barrera taken to ground. And Barrera will yield this corner kick to the man with the magic boots, Ryan Williams. Part of the England futsal national team setup, Williams. So good on the big pitch and on the small as well. That one, a beautiful delivery.
Ooh. Tantalizing and dangerous, that delivery.
Tracking back is Horde.
If you're a goalkeeper, that's those types of deliveries are sometimes and many times trouble.
Put it into that corridor of indecision.
Oh, it's whipped in, low, hard, right height. Little flicks, headers. That's a great delivery.
Turn from Lee. And over the line. Not sure, but it play continues. Pulskamp gathers. Oh, a bit of a trap now. Angulo on the ball with options. We'll play it square. Here's Lee. Out left.
Oh, that's just
too much weight on it.
It's just a poorly hit ball. Should have been so much better. And he knew it when he hit it.
We throw back to SPR.
No look throw.
Careful with that.
Yeah, here, deal with that.
It's just like, I tell you what, most goalkeepers don't want to be playing that ball with their feet. In the end, no problem, but turned by Alec, the goal scorer. Everything seems to go through him. Those distributor cap players. Big presence in the center of the park. And turned over, making up for that bad pass was Lee. And Bulo trying to get on the end of it, not that time. So 74 minutes gone, you're up a goal. What's the posture if you're Jimmy Nielsen here? Are you trying to hold on? At what point do you, okay, we're going to save, play defensive, pack it in, get the victory, get the 3 points, or are you keeping it open to get a little insurance out of this?
No, I think right now you're probably saying let's make sure that defensively we are sound and organized. Back to our good blocks when they keep possession. When we were doing that, we limited them to no chances on frame. So that's already begun for sure.
And conventional wisdom tells you things are going to open up anyway as a team presses high to go for an equalizer, and you may get something on the counter.
Yeah, that's what you're going to be looking for if you're Hartford, is that, you know, the more Swope Park Rangers have to come on to us because they're going to be in search of that equalizer, the more room behind them that's going to leave us. There's the line of, I'm not sure if the ball's going to be put there or not.
Let's see.
Well, it wasn't last time.
Well, he pays out any mind. 75th minute on the free kick. Served with pace, but off target.
There's a line for the wall, excuse me.
Well, they stayed behind.
And they did stay behind it. That time, the Barbasol line was respected.
You will respect my foam. Yeah. Pedro come back. Gonna be a little bit more of a deliberate pace here now. 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, look, this is gamesmanship now for Hartford. I mean, you're not going to be in a hurry to do anything. You're not in a hurry for a goal kick, a throw in, a free kick. You're going to take your time doing just about anything.
Well, Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Stanley Black & Decker. Stay tuned each week for the Stanley Innovative Play of the Game.
I think there'll be a few to choose from here.
Sure. It was 0-0 at the half. 3 goals scored between these two in the second. Pushing for an equalizer late on. Jose Pedro down here on this right side. The last 10-15 minutes or so. Service all the way across. Angulo comes back to collect. Swartz will leave it back. Boy, the fans just making a ruckus.
Look, they're trying to pull their team across the line. They want to see a Hartford win, another Hartford win at home. And I think that's exactly what the squad out there wants to give them.
Snippers able to find Zay, who spins. And we'll learn the corner kick here.
Tries a nifty move, but doesn't come off, but it does go off Lee.
Hey, the result happens.
And it's enough to get you a corner. Good chance, another set piece, another good chance to get yourself level.
As the result holds, these two teams would be tied on 25 points. Punched away by Cropper. Recognized the danger. And again, keep in mind there was that penalty save early in this second half, or it'd be 2-2.
That's turning out to be probably the most pivotal moment right now of the game.
For everybody.
And as you see, Cropper just taking his time, keeping the ball in play, waiting to be pressured.
Cropper, for a 24-year-old, has loads and oodles of experience. 36 appearances and 10 shutouts with the Revolution. And in the lower divisions in England as well.
I'll tell you what, at one time, things were looking up for Cody Cropper.
U.S. Youth International, U23s, had 28 appearances and played in the 2013 U20 World Cup.
He's on loan, and hey, look, you know, if he's saving penalties and putting in good performances.
Yeah, but Bruce Arena's Revolution going to be headed to the playoffs this year after a massive turnaround mid-season. For the change, coaching change, Brad Friedel moving out, and Arena coming in.
Look, I mean, I know Arena didn't have the magic wand with the U.S. men's national team to get him in the World Cup, but he certainly does carry that wand in MLS.
It's appearing that Jimmy Nielsen will go to the substitutes bench in the next dead ball stoppage. As Vucic rather, is going to be coming in along with Downs. Give you a little bit of a burst of energy and some more danger to hit you on a counter. Barrera. Nice ball in. Have a go. Oof. Oh, miss it wide as everybody held their breath.
Again, that ball broke lines. Oof. One quick touch, and then that ball just got by Cody Cropper. Juan Kuzain.
Looks like Palina Nagamura will bring on a substitute as well. Camden Riley listed as defender. So Angulo comes off. And this substitution presented by 4G Recycling.
Harry Swartz making his way off as well.
So it'll be Downs for Swartz. 2 on, 2 off. Downs, the Connecticut native, product of Yale. 23-year-old making his 21st appearance of the season. Kuzane comes off for Swope Park Rangers. And Camden Riley, who listed as a defender, coming in.
See if they'll let a little change of shape and see if they can get some other players forward. Riley will perhaps give cover.
No, Fortin, he's, yep, going to slide in there at the center back spot, it appears. So one change left for Jimmy Nielsen, 2 for Nagamura, the 2 former Sporting Kansas City teammates.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they let Segbers get a little bit more forward and maybe go 3 across the back.
Step up from Raymond Lee. He's closing down the head. Hold up from Vucic. Now they work it to the right side. Here's Downs on the ball for the first time. Tracking it to the touchline. It's always interesting to watch when you have a number of changes. Kind of tactics change and communication errors happen. That will come back. That'll be a foul against Hartford Athletic. So one conceded there. Davey not inclined to agree with the decision from J.J. Belinsky, and it's going to be a caution.
Alexander down, appearing to be in some pain.
So who's this going on? Gadula goes into the book for the 3rd time this season. 3rd yellow card of the night for Hartford Athletic. Oh, now Nagamura will make his 2nd change. Lepley will come off, and Ethan Vanacourt Decker missed last week's match because he was suspended from a red card. Manahawkin, New Jersey native who flair for scoring goals will come in, try to change things and change the fortunes for Swope Park Rangers. So 2 and 2 off and on. Lepley, the 17-year-old, gives way to the 24-year-old Decker.
Good experience, these young teenagers getting to play day in, day out at a much higher level.
Service in, falls all the way. Cropper couldn't get to it, but luckily over the bar. Woo.
Wilson Harris, if he just could have gotten that ball down, his touch just took it back up. You see there, he was falling. He was actually kind of falling before he actually headed. He was coming down, mistimed his jump maybe, possibly trying to avoid Cropper.
85th minute. Gonna see out 5 and some change on top of that. This throw in, and everything will be deliberate the rest of the way out.
Like I said, that's just gamesmanship. That's what you're going to do. That's what you do when you have a lead, especially a lead you're trying to hold on to.
Halfway line pressure coming. Swope Park trying to get something from this game on the road. And just 1 win and 2 draws. Just 5 points earned on the road the entire season.
Still plenty of time. I mean, lots of time, but you want to take care of the ball, and here's an opportunity.
Player fell down. That one took a deflection. Oof. And went near side, and ooh la la. That's going to yield a corner kick here.
That's what you want to do. Take care of a ball. Don't give it away. Start finding those players in between the lines. Start connecting the passes. Just connect the dots.
Another Bank of America corner kick here for Swope Park. Whistled in and nearly put in as an own goal.
Ooh, that was almost friendly fire by Sam DeVitt.
And we'll do it again.
Let's have a look here.
Oh.
As I don't think he quite saw it. As you saw Camden Riley go up, and it got in on DeVitt quickly, and he just reacted.
That one knuckled wide.
Those will pucker you up pretty good when you do that as a defender, and then when it goes over, you feel like a ton of bricks has been lifted off your shoulders. And that ball, when you hit that, I'm sure for him that moment took about a minute, even though it was a split second.
Sure.
It's like, oh no, what have I done? Oh, thank God it's over the ball.
Yeah, you live an entire lifetime in a split second.
Oh, you do. In those moments as a defender, when you're defending, you do.
Cropper, 2.5 more to see out before stoppage time. Well, trying to run on the end and maybe put an exclamation point on this one. Chasing it in is Barrera.
They'd love an insurance goal. Absolutely. I'm sure their supporters, everybody in Hartford, love an insurance goal here.
Good battle, played off the ball, play on. Ooh. Good crunching tackle. Rangers keeping the possession.
If you're Paulinaga Murray, you're probably happy with certain aspects. You're probably happy that your team climbed back in, that they tried to get themselves back into it. Still not over yet.
Bit of a dummy read well by Riley.
And you were a penalty kick away from leveling it up to having a draw away from home.
Now Downs kind of dove in, didn't pay for it. Trying to win that ball. Oh, and commits the foul that time, just Downs, and he's going to go into the book for these efforts. Yep. So a bit of a sloppy challenge.
Yep.
Nothing really.
Stepped on him.
Yeah, nothing really intentional about it.
Reckless. He comes in the challenge and just gets a good piece of him.
That hurts.
Easy one.
It's a puncture the boot type of deal. So 4th yellow card. Here on the home side. Set pieces are starting to rack up here for Swope Park late on. The delivery to the 18 and out. Final 50-50 upcoming. Long switch of play. Say Pedro put it in. That one again wide of the target and behind the goal.
And with every passing moment, those opportunities become more and more important. You want to put those on target. You're getting decent looks, but you got to get these on target. You've got to force Cody Cropper into a save.
Now 4 minutes is what separates Hartford Athletic from their 7th victory of the season. I feel it's going to be a wild and woolly 4 minutes.
So again, if you've got Hartford defending well, Swope Park coming on to you, those counter opportunities are going to be there. And all he needs is a good ball over the top and a good, quick, willful runner. And with Wojcik and Barrera. Wojcik should be fresh.
On the move again, Swope Park. Oh, sloppy, and that will be another free kick. And with any contact, Swope Park Rangers going down.
Again,
You see
yelling
Coach
at the fourth
Nielsen.
official.
Come on, man.
That fourth official, he's made some terrible calls, hasn't he, that fourth official? That's a bit soft. He puts his leg out. Anytime you put your leg out,
you put him in a position
well,
to make
you've
the ball.
got the possibility. I think it was pretty soft. I think Coach Jimmy Nielsen is about right to be upset with that one.
Alexander over the ball.
And that fourth official needs to just fix these things.
Kadula got to head to it first. Lee up the line long. Oh, waste a little time. Almost 2 minutes gone of stoppage. It is now or never for Swope Park Rangers.
Again, still time. Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball.
Nielsen is fired up, and now never want any bench confrontations here. And cooler heads need to prevail. And if you're Swope Park, you're wasting time. You never go into the opponent's bench. That is danger zone, and everybody heated. See Coach Nielsen trying to simmer everybody down.
Look at this. Handbags at 40 paces.
A lot of pointing. Polskamp trying to keep the peace. Let's see what sparked this off.
Who knows? The ball's
really
over
fired
up. The ball's over on the bench, and he comes over to get it from that player right there. That's what started, because he's trying to get the ball, and certainly if you're Hartford, you're not going to help him. And then words start getting exchanged, and then feelings get hurt, and then pushing and shoving and name calling ensues, and teacher needs to interrupt and put everybody in a corner.
I think that's something Paulo Nagamura made say, hey, look, if you're 1 or 2, 3 guys going into the opponent's bench, you're not usually going to win that battle. You're outnumbered.
Well, all they want to do is get the ball. Because obviously, if you're Swope Park Rangers, you want the ball back and play very quickly. Time is not on your side. If you're Hartford, you're like, I'm not giving you anything. You're not going to help them.
Well, it's juicy juice time. Giuseppe Gentile making his 13th appearance of the season here to see this out. Dalgard will come off after a really long, productive shift. And the man from Charlotte will get some garbage time here late on to close it out. This is one of those situations where you make the sub to...
Oh, listen, Jeff, these are important seconds, minutes. I mean, this is 3 points on the line. You're put in here. You're put in to help nail something down, to help make sure you're not conceding. So these are important, believe me. And he immediately comes in and commits a foul. I don't think that's what you were brought on for. Wow, that has to be one of the fastest yellow cards a player's ever gotten upon entering the match.
5th yellow of the match for a Hartford player.
As he comes in and goes, here you go.
He shoved.
Well, he got his arms, and then as he comes in, he just kind of, I think, an automatic reaction to push a player off. But yeah, I mean, there you go.
Get off my plane.
Oof. Get off my lawn.
So Gentile. That's right. Get off my artificial turf.
Yeah.
Big moment here. Could be the last chance for Swope Park Rangers.
Tell you what, if you're that, get everybody in the box.
Say Pedro.
Where's Polskamp?
And Akhmatov will be the one to take this. The Frenchman from Strasbourg, who was born in Chechnya. Chance to deliver at least a point all the way across. Ball falling inside the 18, 50-50, players falling. We've played 5 minutes of stoppage time.
And we got a free kick.
And J.J. Belinsky is not going to blow the whistle as of yet.
I would, if I was that referee, as soon as this ball's kicked, the whistle's blown. And then you better be watching around you, because there could be afters.
Cropper to ice it.
The referee says, Tom, I am not
listening
going
to
blow the whistle right away. We're going to let some play happen.
Got to see this out. And sending into the corner, the smart play. Fans imploring for that whistle. For their third home win in 4 tries at Dillon.
I guess the scrum over by the Hartford bench added some time.
One last build-up.
He's going to allow them one more attack for sure.
Win the ball and it's over. Got to be productive with it.
Better get it in the box.
Trying to do just that. Taken away into the corner. Lifted up the line.
No, referees. He's enjoying this game.
Could Hartford get some more? No. Oh, and getting in.
Oh, no.
Inside the 18 as it could be disaster, and it is 2-2 at the death. Are you kidding me?
Can you believe it? You know.
Rod.
Oh,
the hot rod on this night.
You thought it was over. Look at Wilson Harris, his 11th tally. Now he leads all teenage goal scorers in USL Championship. Oh, sorry, it's Akhmetov. I thought it was. I thought it was Wilson Harris.
See that again. Because Hartford thought this was over.
Well, I tell you what, I thought it was over when the free kick was taken, and or when the goal kick was taken. Actually, it was a free kick. I thought it'd be over there. We've played on well past the 4 minutes.
Oh, now in the 98th, and
that's something you don't want to do. You don't. I know you're upset. I know it's tough, and I know that
you're referring to the bottles on the field.
The assistant over there is probably here an earful, but you don't want to throw anything on the pitch.
Well, looks now they're going to split the points, and there are going to be some upset folks.
So they're announcing the goal scorer was Akhmetov. It looked like it was Wilson
and
Harris.
The final whistle, and the points are split. Is Swope Park at the death? And the 2 former teammates hug and embrace.
Well, they share a big history together, those two. So, and they just shared a wild one here tonight.
That is 2 points lost for Hartford Athletic here on their home patch. And let's see if Nielsen looks for an explanation. Our man of the match, Ryan Williams, our Cigna man of the match, man who scored the first goal tonight in the 57th minute. But the lead would eventually not hold up. Our innovative play of the game thought would have been the difference here, is the save made by Cody Cropper on the penalty kick.
Turns out, as you thought, it might have secured a win, but it turns out it at least secures a point.
Sure.
For Hartford. So,
well, the 2 teams will hug things out. Boy, it's a final 20 seconds that will be relived, I believe, by Jimmy Nielsen and his staff. It will give them nightmares after they drop 2 points. A point apiece for Hartford Athletic and Swope Park Rangers here on a Saturday night. We'll wrap it up when we come back on MyTV9 and ESPN+. Well, back at Dillon Stadium, Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler, can't believe what we just saw, as it was Wilson Harris, Tom, to get the game tire, his 11th goal of the season, to lead all players under the age of 20. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere.
Well, he continues his goal-scoring trend, and this game was just really, Jeff, an absolute copy. Each team just went back and forth with little momentum swings, and you know, all game long, that's kind of what it was. One team would get a little bit of an advantage, and the other team would get a little bit of advantage. Then, you know, Hartford goes up by 2, and then it's Swope Park who's going to, in dramatic fashion, peg them back by 2. That right there, the moment, really probably the pivotal moment of the match, as was called, because that's what ultimately saved Hartford and got them a point here tonight. And these are some of the moments that you look at where Hartford were very good. I credited Sebastian Dalgard and their ability to press in these moments, and they got a turnover, which is what created the opening goal for Williams, and of course the man of the match for Hartford right there, doing a really good job. And at some point in time, again, they get the turnover, and we're going to see a tantalizing goal here by Barrera. And that was 2-0, and you're like, okay, the home team is absolutely flying in this one, and they looked like they were going to cruise on to victory. But, you know, youthful exuberance and certainly belief, and you see right there, this is going to be a nice little finish by Alec. And then Swope Park's back in business, and the momentum again, just a constant game of little momentum swings, and it now has swung back into the favor of Swope Park Rangers, and then it looked like the game was going to end.
Back pass.
Yeah, there was this back pass moment. Wilson Harris just was switched on and said, I'm on here.
And you see Rod with the reaction. Well, shots in the end, Hartford had one more on target, despite Swope Park having a 16-11 edge in total shots. Possession swinging in favor of Rangers, 55-45. Anything else? You see the yellow cards. There were 8 of them, so it shows how feisty the game was.
Yeah, it certainly was, and the shots on target were probably the one that I look at really close as the game was.
Well, it ends 2-2 between Hartford Athletic and Swope Park Rangers. Athletic move up to 23 points. Rangers up to 26. No change in those Eastern Conference standings. 2 more at home for Hartford Athletic to see out in this 2019 USL Championship season. For our entire crew, including my partner Tom Traxler, I'm Jeff Radcliffe, saying thank you so much for watching. A 2-2 draw tonight at Dillon Stadium. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League,